Subscribe to Gizmo Times and get notified about our latest videos by hitting the bell icon. Hey guys, welcome to Gizmo Times. This is Chetan and this is the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 7 smartphone. The next mid-range smartphone that might be one of those best-selling phones for the company in the coming days. This is going to launch in India on 28th of February and we have a unit from China. This is a Chinese unit, but basically there won't be any difference between the Indian and Chinese except for the fact that the MIUI that it comes with will be the Indian one in the unit that is going to be sold in India, and this has the Chinese MIUI, though again there is not a lot of difference. There are different variants of the smartphone. This one is with the 4GB of RAM and 64GB storage, but there's also going to be one with 6GB of RAM, which would be the highest one from the company. And the major specs of this include the 6.3-inch display, and along with that there's the Qualcomm Snapdragon 660, the chipset that we expected to see on the Redmi Note 6 Pro last year, but that was not happening, and it was still the Snapdragon 636 because the company felt that it does quite a good job that the person would require, a user would require. So 660 now is on the Redmi Note 7, and along with that there's a dual lens camera combination, with one being the 48 megapixel camera, which is the Samsung GM1 sensor, not the Sony IMX586, though you can't expect the Sony one on this mid-range smartphone. It is for the flagships. So it's a 48 megapixel camera on the back. Along with that there's also a 5 megapixel one for the depth sensing, and there's Snapdragon 660 as I said, and there's a 4000 mAh battery on this smartphone. So those were the major specs. There's this display 6.3-inch one with that tiny notch on the top for the selfie camera. So upon opening the box package, the first thing is this rubber case, which is quite delicate and very slim, but that again might be a good thing because you won't see a lot of thickness around the device, and this does the protection for the phone's back, and that protection is this time needed because the phone has a glass back this time. This is not the metal back that you had seen always on the Redmi Note series. So these are the different booklets, the warranty card, as well as the user manual, and most of it is in Chinese or Mandarin. And this is the smartphone, the Redmi Note 7 Pro. As you can see, this is looking beautiful, but you might be surprised if you're seeing it for the first time because this is not the regular metal body that you see on the Redmi Note series. This is the actual glass back, and quite different from what it had been always. This looks good, this feels good as well, and it looks like a proper slab design that you see here. And on the front is this notch display where you see this tiny notch, but there is quite a lot of chin kind of space on the top as well. That bezel is easily noticeable. There's a wide chin towards the bottom as well, but again I'd say that this is quite okay for a mid-range phone. But compare this to the phones like the Realme 2 Pro and the others, you'll feel that the bezel on the top is quite wide when compared to those phones. Let's keep this aside and check what else comes in the box package. First is this USB Type-C cable, and that indicates that the phone finally now has USB Type-C connectivity. It was always micro USB, and that was something that many people used to complain about. And this is the Chinese travel adapter pin, and this has the charging speeds of 5V2A. Weird that in the box package you aren't getting the fast charger, though the phone is going to support the Qualcomm Quick Charge 4.0, that's 18-watt charging, but that is not given here. So that is it with the box package. Now let's get back to the phone itself. So this is the Redmi Note 7 with the back that is made of glass, proper slab design, and there's that bump of the camera, again expected because of the large sensor that it has. And along with that you have the camera branding, that's 48MP AI dual camera on the back with the LED flash, and that's a dual LED flash, dual tone flash actually. And there's this fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone, and Redmi by Xiaomi. Something new that is going to come here now is that this is not the Xiaomi branding now, it's Redmi Note 7, and Xiaomi's branding is all gone because Redmi is now an independent brand, though from Xiaomi, but still it's independent now, just like how Poco is. It's going to be Redmi Note 7 and not Xiaomi Redmi Note 7. And this is the MIUI 10 based on Android 9 Pie. So that is a good thing that at least you have the latest OS version, that's Android 9 Pie. And these are the quick settings that you see here, and along with that most of the apps that you see here aren't going to be there in India. The Mi Live and whatever are these apps, these are not going to be pre-installed in India at least, and that's a good thing. Now going into the settings, my device, this is the 64GB variant, and the MIUI version is 10.2.8.0, and along with that all the other specs, it's Android 9 Pie. that this phone is running, and along with that there's 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB storage, of which around 48 GB or 49 GB was available, and we have installed a few games and apps to play for the gaming review. So obviously the actual storage is not being shown there, and under the MIUI you see those different options, and there's also Mi AI, which is the artificial intelligence features. That's Mi AI skills learning, and it would do a few things by its own by learning the user patterns. Press and hold the power button for 0.5 seconds, and that would actually start the AI. Where you can actually talk to the assistant. It's more like an assistant where you can talk to them and get a few functions done. There's this full screen display where you can have the gestures and remove these navigation buttons from the bottom, similar to how it was on the Oxygen OS, and now it's a part of Android itself, Android 9. There's light mode as well, and there's second space, which would basically give you a new space for if you're giving the phone to someone to use it. You can actually hide everything that you have, your photos, your personal files, and your applications as well. Second space would actually load a new kind of OS for the user to start using everything and install apps there. So these are the different settings along with that. Now getting into the camera application. So this is the camera app where you see the option of AI, which was quite obvious. Snapdragon 660 is one of those chipsets that is widely popular for the artificial intelligence, and it helps in recognizing the colors, in setting up the proper colors for the photo. And there's the portrait mode that would take advantage of the dual cameras there. There's the 48 MP plus 5 MP. So the 5 MP one is for the depth sensing, and it would help take those photos. Let's take a quick capture, the depth effect one, and here's that photo where these are the details that are captured, and on the background that is the blur that you can see. Quite well done. I would say that anyway the Redmi Note 6 Pro was one of those favorites when it came to the camera performance in the mid-range category. So obviously with the Redmi Note 7 there'll be quite a lot of expectations. There's option for the video, and under video if you go to the settings, the best video that you can capture here is 1080p at 30 fps. Weird, interesting, it's still at 1080 and it's not 4K. Though I am pretty sure that if you use something like the open camera application, you can capture 4K videos, but I'm not really sure why Xiaomi still opts to go with only 1080p and not 4K videos in its mid-range phones. Even the Redmi Note 6 Pro, which had a capability of 4K videos with the Snapdragon 636, was not able to capture 4K videos unless you use third-party apps, and that's the case here as well. So that is with the rear camera. There's also a night mode. We'll be taking several captures, and we'll do a separate camera review for the Redmi Note 7 Pro because that is quite needed. And this is the selfie camera. And the first impression you see here is that the colors are so well done here. The colors of the jacket, everything in the background, the face is brightly lit, and everything looks good with that selfie camera. There's the AI here as well, taking help in giving you the help in the beautification of the face. And along with that there's a portrait mode as well, where you can see everything else getting blurred except for the face and the body. Let's take a capture here. So this is the selfie that is taken. You can see that the quality looks good. The bordering as well is quite well done for the bouquet, and the background is quite well blurred. Even the camera here, as you see, is quite well blurred. So that is with the front-facing camera. Obviously, if I say for the quick impressions, I'm sure that the quality of the cameras is quite good, but we'll have to do a longer usage. We'll have to do a proper usage of the 48 MP camera to see whether it will actually do well in the longer run. So this was the Redmi Note 7 from Xiaomi, and it does have the features like the face unlock for the unlocking of the phone. You see both manage face data as well as the manage fingerprints option. So we'll do that in a separate video again to let you know about the performance of that, because there's only the camera on the front. There is no IR sensor for helping you in the low light conditions. So we'll check that out as well. Before we wrap up, let's talk about it physically before we end it. So towards the bottom what you see is the USB Type-C port, the speaker grill, and the microphone under one of those grills. There is only one speaker here, not both the sides. And on the right are the buttons, the power button as well as the volume rocker buttons. On the top is the secondary microphone and the 3.5 headset jack and the IR blaster as well, which is quite a unique and a good feature that Xiaomi offers in most of its smartphones. and there is this SIM area on the left side of the device. So upon opening that, it's a hybrid SIM slot where you see primary one being the nano SIM slot, and second one can either have a nano SIM or a micro SD card. So you don't have a dedicated micro SD card slot, but that's okay. That is it with the Redmi Note 7 from Xiaomi, and this phone looks quite good. I hope this is priced right in India. But still, if you ask me frankly, people are always a fan of the Redmi Note series. So if it's going to be a bit aggressive with the pricing, I'm sure this phone should do well because of the new design as well. Though I'm again sure that a lot of users might have not minded having the metal back, which was one of those signature designs from Xiaomi, with that sturdy feeling that the users used to get when they use the Redmi Note series. But it's a glass back, it's better for the design, it's better for the looks. So that is it about the Redmi Note 7. I hope you like this video. If you do, do share and subscribe to Gizmo for more. Thank you for watching, and see you in our next video.